I'm James Barfield with your Urban Connection. This is the channel that is often imitated but is never ever duplicated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it was just about 1 week ago that I did a show titled Politics is a Dirty Game, and be sure you know who you can trust. Now, at that time, little did I know that in 1 week I would be back here with more information that has transpired between the time I did that last show and today. Like I said, it's been 1 week. And a lot has happened in that 1 week in the world of politics. Some of it local, some of it national. And I'm going to deal with the local first. Last Friday, a Kansas state representative from Wichita in District 84, Representative Gail Finney, announced that she would not be seeking re-election. Now, this is after she had already filed and her name was to appear on the ballot unopposed. So on Friday, she had a change of heart, allegedly due to some health conditions, and she made a trip to Topeka to visit the Secretary of State's office to withdraw her name from the ballot. Now, this Friday was the 10th of June, the last filing date for anyone to run in the upcoming election. The primary is which to be held August the 2nd. Now, that's less than 60 days. Now, all is well and good up to this point. But then we find out that along with her on the trip was a gentleman that she wanted to endorse and have him file on the very last day, at the very last minute, to replace her on the ballot. Now, she endorsed him. All is well. I have no problem with that. But she then said in a statement that in doing so, she was passing the baton to him. Now, the gentleman's name here is Mr. Ford Carr, that's his name. Now, here's the problem with this. While she has every right to withdraw her name from the ballot, for whatever reason, while she has every right to endorse Mr. Ford Carr, in doing so at the very last minute, when she realized, of course, that as an incumbent, she did not have an opponent. She didn't have any competition. So therefore, there would not be a primary vote for her district. Now, here's where the problem comes in. She cannot pass the baton to Mr. Ford Carr when we have an election process that has already begun. And like I said, the primary would have been August the 2nd. Now, while she did not have any opposition, ladies and gentlemen, I can guarantee you that had she not run, or had she announced publicly her intention not to seek re-election even 10 days before June the 10th, I can guarantee you there would have been some other people from the 84th district that would have been glad to throw their hat in the ring for that open seat. But in doing it in the manner in which she and he chose to do it, basically deprives the voters in District 84 from participating in a due process, in the democratic process. And that process is to have a choice among one or two or three or four, however many candidates to choose from. And then the electors will choose who they want to pass the baton to, not Representative Finney. That is not the democratic process. That is not the way we run things here in America. I mean, after all, why would we even have elections if incumbents got to anoint or pass a baton to the person of their choosing without any input, any say-so from the constituents who elected them? Ladies and gentlemen, this is totally not a fair process. You know, I think back the last time something like this happened was when the late Senator Rip Gooch chose to resign his seat early in an attempt to get Carl Brewer. He wanted to pass the baton on to Carl Brewer. But the voters and the constituents in District 1 at that time said, no, we're not having none of that. They said, we want a choice. So they put forth the name of Donald Betts. And of course, we were not in the process of an election cycle at that time. So the person that would go to fill that vacant seat was appointed by the precinct people in District 1. And those precinct people chose Donald Betts. That was the democratic process. That was the way these type of vacancies are supposed to be filled. The voters have a choice, not to have somebody take a seat by default. I'm sorry, let me just say this. I don't know Ford Carr. Ford Carr could be a good representative, I don't know. But none of us will know if this process goes forward and Ford is elected without the benefit of any choice by the constituents in District 84, it will be another act of dirty politics. He has not earned the right. He's not run. Like I said, I don't know him. As I talk to people throughout the district, I'm not the only one. There are two questions that are asked the most right now. Number one, who is Ford Carr? Number two, what does he stand for? And ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, I can't give you an answer for either one of those. So right now, the people in District 84, the few that I've talked to, are feeling betrayed. Betrayed because of the manner in which this process is playing out right now. And I sincerely hope that this won't end up the way it's starting out. because I think any district, any election, any constituency should have the option of having a choice as to who they want to represent them. That's the way it always has been done. That's the way it should be done according to our democratic process here in the United States. Anything less is unacceptable. Now, if I were in District 84, I can guarantee you that no one, let me tell you something else. See, this is why I have always said that no candidate should run unopposed. And I don't care if it's an incumbent or overseer, whatever. No candidate should run unopposed. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, we don't know what might happen to be time the filing date and the election takes place. A single candidate on the ballot could be hit by a pickup truck, could die of a heart attack. Anything could happen. And there's nobody else on the ballot. That's number one. Number two, a single candidate running unopposed will never give you his or her best. Because, hey, they're skating. Okay? I mean, they're going to win by default. Your best candidates come when you have primary elections, when you can have debates, when you can find out what each candidate stands for, if anything. So I'm hoping that someone in the 84th district will step up and you can still get on the ballot. Now you say, how? It's very simple. You have two choices. You can either, if you are a Democrat, you can change your affiliation to independent, and you can get on the ballot as an independent. Or you can organize a write-in campaign and run as a write-in candidate. But ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, let this be a lesson to you. No candidate for any office, I don't care if it's the president of the United States, the mayor of your city, city councilman, state representative, state senator, no candidate should ever run unopposed in any election. It's not a good idea for several reasons. And this is just one of them. You are being taken for granted if you live in the 84th district. You are being denied your constitutional rights. Now, this program is being brought to you for one purpose. As I've said before, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to inform you and educate you. Let this be a great lesson to you going forward. Now let's turn to the national politician games. We heard this week the first of the public congressional hearings regarding January the 6th. And let me tell you, folks, it was not pretty. It revealed an awful lot that we didn't know about what happened and how it happened on January the 6th of 2020, I'm sorry. We learned that the president, who I've said time and time again, is only concerned with Donald J. Trump. For this week, we saw Donald Trump throw his own daughter under the bus. Why? Because she went and testified before this congressional hearing and told the truth. And the truth was that she believed the Attorney General, Bill Barr, when he said this election was fair and square, and Donald J. Trump lost fair and square. And to use his words, any attempt to say anything different was bullshit. And when Ivanka said she respected Bill Barr's opinion and she agreed with it, she in effect was saying she believed her daddy was lying, which he was and still is, and her daddy threw her under the bus. And I've told you before, Donald Trump will throw any and everybody under the bus if you get in his way. Because having his way is the only thing that matters to him. And if you're not loyal to him, even though he never will return the loyalty, but if you're not loyal to him, not only will he throw you under the bus, he will do everything he can in his power and will to destroy you, to destroy your reputation, to destroy your career. It doesn't make any difference. And that is why you saw Donald Trump this week throw his daughter under the bus. Now, here's a guy that is lying through his teeth and has been ever since November the 20th of 2020 about how he was cheated out of the presidency. No, Mr. Trump, you were not cheated. The vast majority of the American public just got fed up with your lying, cheating, conning, misrepresentation, and misleading them on everything. Whether or not it was the number of bankruptcies you've had, whether or not it was the amount of money you could claim to have, you claim to be worth 10 billion, but it is not confirmed or verified by anybody. And folks got tired of it. Folks got tired of you, Mr. Trump, going to Russia and putting Mr. Putin ahead of your own United States military generals. Mr. Trump, how long did you think you could actually get away with that? And now you claim that you're going to be running again for president in 2024. Now, you know, and I know that is a lie. But you're using that to once again con your followers out of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars for your own self-satisfaction. So folks, I just want to tell you, like I said, I never intended to be back with this show dealing with this issue within 1 week of doing the first show on dirty politics. Folks, you ain't seen nothing yet. But folks, you folks in Wichita, in the 84th district, it's time for you to wake up. Time for you to stand up for your own self-good. You are entitled to have a choice, a democratic election for this 84th district seat. Now, I've told you, I've informed you, I've educated you. What you do with it is up to you. I'm James Barfield.